This is SNI Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where normally we break down a record, we get into a certain band, and we just try to dissect certain albums. But this week, or today, this episode, we decided to do something a bit different because this last weekend was the final bow of Ozzy Osbourne, the back to the beginning, where it was a 8 or 10 hour event where all these bands performed. They played Black Sabbath and Ozzy covers, and then at the very end, Ozzy and Sabbath did their final sets for the final sets. So we're just going to kind of run through that, talk about what we thought about it. Some stuff was certainly better than others. Some people might be upset by some of the things we have to say coming up. But
there was good. There was bad.
There was a lot of good. I would say it was mostly good, but of course,
mostly good.
Of course, there's some.
I say it was mostly like that was fine. That was fine.
Yeah, there was nothing just truly terrible about any of the performances. It was all good to fucking amazing. That's really what it was. But we might have some negative things to say, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. So we're just gonna kind of run through the day, and then just talk about the different songs, like I said. So yeah, I mean, this started. I mean, this happened in Birmingham, England, on Saturday.
Birmingham. On
Saturday for us here in California and Arizona, it started at 7 a.m. and so it was early. I was up at 6:30. Bought everything. Bought my ticket. Logged in. Of course, they did.
Buy a t-shirt?
I did not buy a t-shirt. Did you buy a shirt?
I wanted to, but they're $60.
Yeah. Well, no, it was $60 for the ticket and the shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, it was $60 for both.
Then I would have bought a shirt.
But that's okay.
Yeah. I read that wrong. Yeah. Then I would have bought a shirt.
But honestly, they didn't make it easy to watch because you could only watch it on a computer or your phone. There's no app, so yeah, I had to go fucking dig up my work computer and fucking plug it into my TV, and it was just like, dude, what are we fucking 2010?
Why don't you use your personal computer?
Because I was already on my personal computer. I wanted to use that for the Discord so we could all talk on Discord. It's easier to type out, so I just pulled out my work computer and I just turned that on, plugged it into the TV, easy peasy. But yeah, but in the end, my point is, Sharon Osbourne didn't make it easy. Didn't link up with any sort of app or other company because they just wanted all that cash, baby, all that cash. Even though they donated most of it to Children's Hospice and the Parkinson Center in Birmingham.
All the proceeds.
Proceeds, yeah.
Which is not the same as donating all the money.
I said most of the money. Did I say all?
But we get I think in society we get hung up on they're donating all the proceeds. That's proceeds. That doesn't mean all the money.
That's a good point.
People are still getting paid.
That's a good point, yeah.
Except for the people like supposedly going there, and the performers aren't getting paid.
Yes, correct. Well, I don't know because supposedly that's why some bands were dropped out because they weren't getting paid enough.
Yeah.
So.
No, I read that the performers did not get paid anything, nor did they even get paid to like come out to the show. Like everything was on their own dime.
Okay. I like that.
As it fucking should be, bro. Like, come on, the fuck out of here, dude. This is the biggest like event of possibly a lot of these performers' lives, dude. Like, there's so many people that stream this shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, the amount of eyeballs on this show are more than pretty much everybody but like Metallica or Guns N' Roses too.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that Guns N' Roses. But yeah, so that was a little bit of an inconvenience, but we got around it. You were having some issues, but because I'm a tech genius, I figured it out for you. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, it was.
You almost didn't watch it.
I'm not good with like technology at all. I don't
knew
fucking
like
care.
the moment I realized
the
moment I realized that there's not going to be an app for it, I immediately thought Jeff's gonna be so fucking mad. Like there's a possibility that he's not even gonna watch it. But no, we figured it out. But you started a bit late. I started at the beginning. You started like 3 bands in, which is fine. I mean, a lot of these.
I didn't care to watch anything up until the first like All-Star thing.
But you even missed all of that. You missed the first All-Star.
No, I didn't. Oh,
yeah, you did.
I saw like half of it. No, I didn't. No, I saw right when fucking autograph signing bomb dude started Disturbed guy singing David Draymond. Yeah, that's when I started.
Okay, got it. So
yeah, then I saw the Youngblood. Youngblood's stupid. And I saw that too.
Yeah, it was better than I expected. But
I saw it. Okay.
But we start with Mastodon. Mastodon
here.
started first, which is crazy that they opened. I mean, they should have honestly been later on in the bill, especially considering some of these bands were just ugh. But
well, nobody knew that a lot of these bands were going to fucking just stink up the place.
Yeah, but Mastodon should definitely not have opened. They're better than that. But yeah, they played 2 of their own songs. They also played Supernaut. That was because so each band covered at least one Sabbath or Ozzy song, and their cover was Supernaut, which is the only cover you wanted to see, but you missed it.
I know.
And I tried looking it up.
I did watch it though.
Oh, you did watch it? Where'd you find it?
I just typed in Supernaut Mastodon, and then I don't know. I found it.
I didn't find it on YouTube when I looked, but
and I watched the Fred Durst thing.
that was something, which we'll get into too. But yeah, so they played Supernaut, and then Danny Carey and Eloy Casagrande, and then the drummer from Gojira, they came up and played some percussion during that too, which was fun. Very underutilized, but anyway, yeah. So Mastodon was cool. I like Mastodon. I don't care what people say; they're cool. So
a lot of people like them. They're on the biggest bill on earth, so
true.
They have an audience.
Also, Mastodon played so many Ozfests. That's the first time I saw Mastodon. It was like in 2003 or something like that at Ozfest. So I mean, I've seen them probably 3 or 4 times. So next up, Rival Sons. These guys are just more of like a blues rock, hard rock band. Didn't fit at all. They played 2 of their own songs. They also covered Electric Funeral by Sabbath. It was a fine cover, but even the singer kind of made light of the situation, saying like, hope you guys are okay with like a hard rock band playing because we're really not metal. Like, he kind of made fun of themselves and like how out of place they were, which honestly they were, and I thought they were very boring and just kind of plain old people hard rock. So there's that. Anthrax up next. You know, they played one of their songs, then they played Into the Void, the Sabbath song, which is super cool. They were also wearing like uniforms. It was like, what was it?
Like matching
shirt. Yeah, not uniform, matching shirts. They each member had like, you know, the appropriate member on their back, and then it was like Sabbath Bloody Anthrax or something like that across the front. It was cool. It was fun. But yeah, it was fine. I'm not a big Anthrax fan, neither are you. So, but it was cool either way.
But I think we both really like. We don't like follow it super closely, but we both really like Scott Ian as a person.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude.
And he's always just like, he's just down to jam with like anybody. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Remember that super group years ago with Ted Nugent, Scott Ian, Tommy Lee, I think was drumming. I forgot who the guy from Biohazard was playing bass. What was that shit? It was so fucking weird. The weirdest, like, it was like a reality show. I remember that, but it just.
I mean, that just sounds badass. Like Scott Ian and Ted Nugent together sounds amazing. Sounds so fun and exciting. Electric.
But the songs weren't that great. They put out like 3 songs. They were just kind of whatever. But anyway, yeah, Anthrax played, and then Hailstorm. I don't get this band. I really don't. They played 2 of their own songs. The first song, Love Bites, was actually decent. It was good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get Hailstorm at all. I think they're just so whatever, blah.
I mean, it's a female-fronted like band, so
which is not a bad thing. Like Arch Enemy fucking kills it, but Hailstorm is just. I just don't care. Kitty are better than Hailstorm, honestly.
Dude,
honestly, Kitty are better than Hailstorm.
No, Kitty's not better than anybody.
I saw you're selling that Kitty record at your record store.
Don't you already have that?
I do. Hold on one sec. Tammy, can you take the dogs out of here? I don't
shake them.
Leave Rupert in here, but leave Trash Dog out.
Last time he did that, one barked and then the other one barked for like 20 minutes.
Boy, it's chaos always.
Not even a thank you, nothing. Nothing.
But
I will have nothing.
But yeah, Hailstorm. I just thought this was kind of a mediocre performance. They did Perry Mason, the Ozzy cover, as their cover. I just don't care. I just don't care. It was fun. It was fine. There was nothing bad. Honestly, up until this point, there was nothing bad about any of these performances. I don't really care for some of these bands. Lamb of God.
That's why I slept in.
Lamb of God came up. You missed this one too. You missed Lamb of God. They played 2 of their own songs.
I'm fine.
Then they played Children of the Grave, and honestly, this is the closest thing to a stinker this whole day. This cover of Children of the Grave, I didn't care for it. I'm honestly not a Lamb of God fan. I've tried. I've seen them a couple times at Ozfest back in the day. I just don't care about this band. I think they're kind of plain old people, really heavy metal. Not for me at all, and I thought their cover was kind of lame. just don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Lady to Rest is cool, and then they have another song.
They played that song.
American something. Yeah, I mean that's the Guitar Hero song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's cool, but I don't.
Yeah, Randy Blythe as a vocalist, I don't think he just doesn't do it for me. I think he's just very whatever, just okay. I don't want to say generic, but just okay. And then we get the first Tom Morello All-Star Band here. Various singers throughout these songs. Most of them are Ozzy or Sabbath, or this section is all Ozzy and Sabbath covers. We have Lizzie Hale doing The Ultimate Sin. We have David Draymond from Disturbed doing Shot in the Dark and Sweet Leaf, an Ozzy and Sabbath cover. Whitfield Crane, I don't remember who he's from. Do you remember who he's from? Yeah, I don't either. But he does a Believer by Ozzy. And then Youngblood came out and closed it out with Changes, which honestly was the best version of Changes this whole day. Honestly, the Youngblood version wasn't bad. It was good. It was fine. I'm not a fan of Youngblood, obviously, but
So Whitfield Crane from Ugly Kid Joe, and so I this is where I joined in because I'm not waking up early for fucking everything else that we've talked about. I don't care enough. But I did really want to see this, but because of the issues, I missed. I started it already in the middle of the David Draymond thing.
Got it.
After like he was already booed incessantly by the crowd. This is the
yeah.
same fucking guy that like literally signed bombs. Like explosive devices that were dropped on people. He signed them, like with them, like autographed, like bought. Like what the fuck are you doing?
Some demented.
I don't even know why he was even
shit.
here.
Some demented shit.
I don't even know why the fuck this guy was even here. That was a huge miss.
Yeah.
On Sharon when that whole list got through her desk and she missed that one insanely. The Youngblood was fine, dude. The Youngblood's dumb. It's stupid. I get why people like him, but I don't. It's silly. It's dumb. He's just like a MGK for the UK kids, but it's fine.
MGK for the UK kids. That's a sentence, dude. You said that you if you said that to us like 15 years ago, we would go, "What the fuck are you even saying?" The MGK for the UK kids. It sounds so stupid.
Youngblood. Because he's just like, yeah, Youngblood's stupid. I didn't want to get into it, but it was fine. This, like, I woke up for this, and I was like, this is about the time I wake up anyway, so it wasn't like a big deal. But had I woken up early for this, I'd have been like, for this? This was your fucking this was not. This was stupid.
Yeah, it was certainly the weaker of the two, definitely.
And then Jack Black doing the Mr. Crowley, which I think Mr. Crowley's a dumb fucking song. It's
I don't like
it's
it
goofy.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It's goofy and it's silly. I think most of Ozzy's solo stuff is just goofy and fucking silly.
True.
In a way that like a lot of like the 80s or Sabbath shit is goofy and silly. But Jack Black doing Mr. Crowley was actually kind of worked. I didn't.
He dove into the
hate it.
cheesiness. That's why.
Yeah. But then he had like kids. I was like, bro, if you're gonna have fucking kids on stage, you should have just got the School of Rock kids, you idiot.
I mean, they're all adults now, but yeah, that would have been cool.
But he's talked about doing it for so long, for years and decades, and like all these. Two of the kids married each other. Like the fucking drummer from the School of Rock married like one of the vocalists and shit, and like Jack Black was at the wedding and stuff. Like why would you not just have the fucking kids?
Yeah, but the reason why is because two of the kids, or one of the kids was Tom Morello's son. The other kid was Scott Ian's kid.
Scott Ian's son.
So that's honestly why. But it was funny
because these kids need a boost, right? Jamie Morello and Tommy Ian need a fucking boost.
Because nepotism, always is the best thing. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was cool. It was a little goofy and cheesy, but it was fun. Also, so the first two songs, Jakey Lee, the guitar player for Ozzy, great guitar player. He came out, did those two songs, and he's had medical issues, which I didn't know about. But friend of the pod, Skip, brought it up that he has I think it was some gnarly arthritis in his hands and shit. And there were a couple moments where you could tell he slipped up, and even he Jakey Lee even made a face fuck, I fucked that one up. There were moments where he did fuck it up, and then that really, it sucks, man. You got this, you really want to try and be there, but your body just doesn't.
You're old, dude. It does suck, and I do feel bad. It's sad. And then we'll get into it in the Ozzy here, where it's I'm so sad that Ozzy can't stand it. Dude is fucking old.
Yeah, he's old, and the fucking shit he's done his whole life.
My God. Be thankful you're fucking alive, my guy. Holy shit.
All four of the guys from Sabbath, which we'll get into. But yeah, remarkable that any of them are still alive. But so that was cool. He came out, did that. Nuno Betancourt honestly was the highlight when it comes to like all the massive players that came in. Nuno Betancourt, you know, just an incredible guitarist in his own right, and he was just the guy that held everything down, ripped up some crazy good solos all throughout the whole day, and
he fed off the crowd too. Like the crowd went nuts for him, and he fed off it.
Yeah,
he really like worked that crowd. Like he was
fantastic.
He was shining.
He was fantastic.
He was.
Dude, his guitars, I love his guitars. God damn that, the like unfinished wood look on his guitars, the racing stripe. I love that shit so much. I love it. And he looks so young. Like the guy's like 60.
He does look,
and he
really
looks like
young.
he's mid-30s. Like the guy has aged so well. It's
fucking dickhead.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But and he seems like such a cool dude. Like he did the shout out to the crowd saying, you know, I know this is Aston Villa, but you know, my brother in Portugal. Not real brother, but my brother in Portugal died. I know he plays for Liverpool, but you know, please, you know, keep him in your prayers. It was really cool. It was really nice, and like he addressed the whole fact that they were in Aston Villa, you know, not to upset, you know, idiot soccer fans, football fans, I should say.
Well, he also never said the word Liverpool. Like he
That's
never
true,
said
he
that he
didn't.
plays for Liverpool.
Yeah.
So that's somebody who knows. That's someone who knows soccer. Like, just don't like. We can pay respect to somebody else. Just don't fucking mention their name.
That's
here.
a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, so that was cool. Mike Borden also played drums during a couple of these songs. And Mike Borden, Faith No More, played with Ozzy's band for years. And he played with Korn for a little while as well. Like, just absolute killer drummer. But damn, dude, you forget like these guys, how old these guys are, and then you see him now.
They're all
you
old.
see him now, and you're like, oh my god, Mike Borden. He still has the dreads, but they're all gray. They're all gray, and
They're all gray.
Ah, man, just it's crazy seeing all these guys that you've always seen growing up, and they were just so lively and young.
They were old when we grew up,
but they were still young. But now they just look, man.
This is gonna get into like the later on, like why we're all gonna cry over fucking Ozzy and shit. He's old when we found out about him.
So yeah.
Now he's ancient.
So there you go. So then we get into Alice in Chains. I'm not a fan of even Alice in Chains when Lane Staley was alive. It's just not my thing. I think Jerry Cantrell's a killer guitar player, but it's just the band just never appealed to me.
Didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care. And then there was audio issues, like the audio completely cut out during one of the songs.
Yeah.
I think it was during the Sabbath song. They played Fairies Wear Boots.
Fairies Wear Boots.
And I think that's when it cut out.
This was like that was when I was like, fuck, man. And like, to be fair, we're talking like millions of people all over the world are watching this, and I'm surprised only this amount of like problems happened.
Yeah.
But I did like later on when they replayed all the shit that like the audio got cut out.
Yeah,
from.
that was cool.
That was
really cool.
But then like what's his name, William Duvall, all the shit that he was saying too, and it was just like inside these walls, like we're all just like whatever goes on outside. They say, dude, just shut the fuck up, man. If you're gonna say something cheesy and generic and just like textbook, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
God, that's annoying.
It was lame. But yeah, just not a fan of Alice in Chains. But I mean, honestly, in the end, it was a good performance. They played their own songs well, even though he's not even the original singer. But still, you know, it was cool. It was fine. Gojira comes up next. You know, I have a lot of respect for this band. I think they're a killer fucking band. But I haven't quite gotten there with this band. Like, I really want to get into them, but I just haven't found nothing has hooked me yet. They played 3 of their own songs, and then they played Under the Sun from Sabbath. And honestly, man, this was the tightest performance outside of Tool. This was the tightest performance of the whole day, hands down. I mean, these guys slayed.
This was so
they
good. Killed it.
Yeah, they really did.
And I think I don't know a lot about Gojira, except for like that was the old Asian man said in Godzilla 2001 with Matthew Broderick.
Is that really where they got the
Remember
name?
in the beginning?
Is that really where they got the name?
I don't know. I think Gojira actually does mean
Godzilla.
like Godzilla or monster or something like that in Japanese. But remember in Godzilla, that movie, in the very beginning?
I don't remember that. No.
Like he was one of the guys that got killed in like the tanker. He didn't get killed, obviously he's talking, but he was one of the guys that survived the tanker thing in the very beginning. He's laying on the hospital bed, and they come and he's trying to interview him because Matthew Broderick and his girlfriend are interviewing him, and like, what did you see? He's like, Gojira. And I was like, what does that mean? And then like it cuts to like the next part of the movie, and like that. I like that movie
It's
a lot.
fun.
I don't.
I mean, I
care what
haven't seen
anybody
it in
says.
20 years, but
I think all the Godzilla movies I've seen are pretty fun, but that was an especially fun one because it was so corny. But anyway, Go Hero was cool. I never got into them. I like them more now because their performance for the Paris Olympics when they played in that
I
fucking
didn't
old ass
like
building.
that. I thought that was so
That
cheesy.
was so
I thought it was so
sick,
cheesy,
dude.
and
That
dumb.
was,
I didn't like that.
dude. This is a French-born like prog metal band, and they're playing like that was wild. And like just the showmanship of this, the set pieces, the stage, the theatrics of it, I thought was unreal. So ever since then, I've every time we get a record in from them, I'll spin it. I'm still not there where I'm like, oh, I love this band, but I do like them a lot. But yeah, this performance was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I couldn't
It was
believe
unreal.
how incredibly tight this band is, considering how they're not just playing like power chords. Like there's a lot of cool shit that they're all four of them are doing. Like they're all really good musicians in their own right, and considering how tight they are, it was pretty fucking good.
And their singer's fucking good,
Yeah.
dude. He's a good fucking guitarist. Like for a singer, right?
It's essentially two
God
lead
damn.
guitar players. That's essentially what this
Yeah.
band is, two lead guitarists. But yeah, no, it was great, and their cover of Under the Sun was killer too. I wouldn't say that was the best cover of the day, but it was solid, man. So Gojira killed it. They really did. We get a little bit of a break, then we get it says it's called Tom Morello's All Stars #2. It's essentially just a 5-minute drum off between Travis Barker, which was a surprise. Nobody ever said Travis Barker was going to be there. Kourtney Kardashian was there too. You see that her on the side stage?
Ugh.
She was there.
Is she blonde?
No, has black hair, and
Oh.
she was holding their baby.
There was somebody during the Guns N' Roses that was blonde. I was like, damn, like no one at this performance is that young. But okay.
Probably if it was Guns N' Roses, probably like Duff McKagan's wife or some shit like that.
yeah. It was yeah.
Because he's like the only guy in Guns N' Roses that has aged like really surprisingly well, even though he hit it the
A lot
hardest,
better.
and he hit everything the hardest out of the whole band. But anyway, yeah. So this is the drum off. It was Travis Barker from Blink-182. It was Danny Carey from Tool and Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was fun. It was a fun 5 minutes of them just kind of showing off, being knuckleheads. And I mean, Travis, of course, he's flashy, throwing his arms around like fucking Animal from the Muppets. And then it would go to Danny Carey, and he's just like, just barely even moving, barely moving his body, but all over his giant drum kit. And it was just that just going from Travis to Danny Carey. It was just seemed so stupid. Like it just made Travis look kind of silly, even though we all know he's an incredible drummer. But it just made it.
I love this drum off. I love the drum off because, like you just said, like it was silly. It wasn't a real drum off, or it's not like put on by like Guitar Center where they're actually like working for something and there's a prize. It's just them not necessarily showing off, but just like fuck, I'm really excited to be here. Check this out. And like Travis played punk. Like he played punk beats and he incorporated so much of just like his punk and hip hop into what he was doing.
Yeah.
Chad Smith, like he always does this. He does this a lot. Like he stands up when he hits like the fucking, and Lars tries to do it too, but he's fucking terrible at it. But like Chad Smith stands up a lot while he's playing the drums, and when he's hitting the high toms and he sits back down and gets back in there. But they all fucking smiled, and even Danny Carey was smiling the
He
whole
always
time.
smiles.
Like
He's
as
always smiling, man.
but he doesn't laugh. Like smiling is one thing, but not like smiling. You're having fun to where
Danny
you're
Carey
looking
always
at
does
someone. Oh, hold on there, dude. Looking at someone like Travis, where you're like, dude, all you're playing is just like what you want to play, right? The punk stuff. And Danny Carey's like, oh, that's cool. Here's what like I like to play. And he's laughing as Travis is doing it. And he laughed at Chad Smith while Chad Smith was playing the drums. And Chad Smith laughed, and everybody's laughing. Like no one laughs while they're playing the drums, especially Travis.
Yeah, and
Barker.
Travis was laughing. The fact that Travis was laughing and looking and just having Travis. I mean, he never looks like he's having a good time when he's playing drums. But this is like one of the few times I've ever seen him look like he's really just on cloud nine. Like he's just fucking loves life. Which I mean, it makes sense.
This is like one of the most.
He's playing with Danny Carey. Danny Carey is like objectively like the greatest drummer of all time. Like I mean, you can't even deny that. Regardless of what you think of Tool, Danny Carey is probably objectively one of the greatest, if not the greatest drummer of all time.
He's one of the greatest for sure. I don't know if he's the greatest, but he's one of the
I don't
greatest
know,
for
man.
sure.
I would really objectively, I would throw him as probably the greatest of all time.
Nah, he's not the greatest, but he's one of the greatest for sure. He's top 5. He's top 5.
Okay.
Come on. Let's not get too crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, Travis, this may have been the most fun I've ever seen Travis have, like playing the drums.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
And if at the very least in the past 20 years.
It was cool. It was really, really cool.
And I just love that he didn't like try so fucking hard. Like, yeah, the Flash was there because that's who he is. That's who he's always been. But like, I liked that he still like incorporated like little punk beats in there because that's what he likes to do. That's what he likes to play. This wasn't a platform for him to show off and show people what he's good at. This is a platform for him to just have a fucking good time.
Yeah, totally. And then you look at their kits. You know, like Travis has like the simplest kit in the world, and then you get Danny Carey's kit, which is just insanely over the top.
Yeah,
not like Neil Peart or Terry Bozzio, but still fucking crazy kit. And even Chad Smith, like his kit was even bigger. That was bigger than Travis's. Travis was like playing on a toy kit compared to the other two guys. But
it is funny like how fast, because you can see Chad get tired like quick. He got tired quick as fuck, and then at the very end, he's just like, "I'm done." He got up and walked away. He's like, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore." He's done.
The dude's like 6'3", and he's like just an enormous guy. And he's what? Chad Smith must be like mid-60s now. It's like he must just be exhausted. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was really cool. And then also, Tom Morello was the musical director for this entire day, and his song choices were great. Honestly, the songs he chose to play, or they chose to play, were great. And during this drum off, it was "Symptoms of the Universe" from Sabbath, and Morello was playing guitar, and so was Nuno. I think was playing guitar.
Yeah, Nuno
I forgot
was
the other guitar. There was a third guitar player, and then Rudy Sarzo, who played bass on a lot of these performances, was Ozzy's bass player for a while. He played bass, and it was cool. I mean, it was a perfect song for a drum off because you have the dun 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 dun, and then you just let that note ring out, and then in the real song, Bill Ward just does all these fucking drum solos and all this crazy drum shit, and then it drops down into the riff, and that's what they did. It was like they played the song, but then they added their own flair and craziness during the drum breaks. It was honestly the perfect song for this moment. I thought it was fantastic. Oh, it was so good.
That was good.
Great.
That was good.
So then we get into the final part of the All-Star Jam. This is the longest portion. It was almost 45 minutes. Various singers, guitar players, drummers. It was all over the place. Morello and Nuno Betancourt were the consistent, and Rudy Sarzo were the consistent players throughout this. But they had like KK Downing come in from Judas Priest. They did Breaking the Law. Billy Corgan sang two of the songs.
Breaking the Law.
Yeah, Billy Corgan sang Breaking the Law, and he sang Snowblind from Sabbath.
Dude, this never, like, Billy Corgan was so fucking awkward.
It was
up
so
there.
weird, yeah. And honestly,
like, he has no idea what it's like to like just be around a bunch of like great musicians and not just look awkward.
Yeah, even in Pumpkins, like he's kind of an awkward dude. Like, also he didn't have his guitar. His guitar helps when
he's like doing like bunny ears behind. He's doing bunny ears behind somebody, and like they're rocking out, and they hit him with the guitar head at one point.
I didn't see that.
He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta move." Yeah, he's just fucking weird, dude. Like, what are you doing, man? Chill.
So yeah, Corgan sang the first two songs. Like I said, Breaking the Law from Judas Priest, and then Snowblind from Sabbath. The Priest cover was terrible. I mean, Corgan's a good singer. I mean, regardless of what you think of his vocals, he actually is a good singer, and he has really good range. But he doesn't have. He just didn't pull this Priest song off well at all.
Yeah, because he's not like a great singer. He's a good singer at sticking in like the genre and lane that he knows. Yeah. And Breaking the Law is the only good Jesus Priest song. That's a fucking fact. So there's that.
But Snowblind was much better. It was a much better cover. But it was cool. I mean, just they had I forgot who even played drums on these songs. But I mean, it was between the three. It was between Travis, Danny Carey, and Chad Smith. So it was just.
I think it was mostly Danny that played most of the drum things here because Chad got too fucking tired.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, because Chad played. Okay, so yeah, they kind of did it in pairs. So you're right. It was Danny Carey who did the first two with Corgan, and then the next two, Sammy Hagar came out and sang, and then Chad Smith played the drums on these ones. I remember this specifically because they played "Flying High Again" by Ozzy, and then they played a Montrose cover, and I remember him being very stoked about playing the Montrose song, which is cool. I mean, it's honestly better than anything Sammy Hagar did with Van Halen. So,
I mean, Van Halen took like a lot from Montrose, and
yeah, true.
said it for a year. Like that first Montrose record.
It's a good, it's a great record. Yeah, not knocking that record. I'm knocking Sammy Hagar, but still, he's a great vocalist. Hagar is a great vocalist, but he's got to promote his fucking tequila, man. He's wearing his
That's so
tequila
annoying.
shirt.
That fucking irritates me so much. It's just so irritating.
Yeah.
Like fuck off, dude. Piss off. I'm so tired of like why do these rock stars insist on having like tequilas and shit, and if it's anything like the George Clooney tequila and like the Caitlyn or Kylie or whatever Jenner they want to eat fucking tequila, like it's all just garbage. Casamigos, that's George Clooney's ex tequila. I mean, his tequila, he just fucking bought like land and then made them work harder to make his tequila and then sold it for more money.
Yeah, really, really well.
Just an investment for him, dickhead.
And then we get into Travis comes out on drums, and the singer from Ghost, Tobias Forge, comes out, and they do Bark at the Moon. Tobias just doesn't have the chops for this one. I mean, I get it. It's hard to try to sing like Ozzy. It's very difficult to even try to do an Ozzy song, Ozzy or Sabbath. And it didn't quite hit, but it was good for what it was. Travis is Travis, but Bark at the Moon's still a great song, still a killer song. Great fucking riff. Then we move on to Steven Tyler comes out for a few songs. The best part of this was that he clearly couldn't hear himself in his in-ears. So he's like, I need the mic. You could hear him like over the PA.
It was so loud. I know.
And he's talking backstage, like he's yelling at people backstage.
As you're playing music, like, bro, shut up.
But he can't hear himself, so he doesn't know that. He thinks like nobody can hear him. But he's
probably so mad after the fact.
Yeah,
too.
Absolutely.
Probably so fucking mad.
Absolutely. So one of the few audio issues. I mean, honestly, all things considered, there weren't a lot of audio issues through the whole day, but this is certainly one of them. But it was the funniest of them all, because he was clearly pissed off that he couldn't hear himself, but then not knowing that everybody else could hear him. So that was good. But also, the dude's like in his mid-70s. Fucking sounds
good,
amazing.
Though.
He sounds
good.
So
and he looks good. Does he look good? Like compared to like Axl?
Tammy and I were watching because Tammy had come out at this point and was watching with me. And she's like, you know what? He's very attractive. Like I can't believe how attractive he is. And I told her how old he was, and she's like, yeah, he's
really
very
is.
attractive.
Like he still looks really good. He doesn't look all decrepit and old and gross, or like Axl's got the neck thing going on. It's kind of like nasty. Like Steven Tyler looks good.
Yeah. And his voice, man, was killer. They did Train Kept a Rollin', and then they did Walk This Way from Aerosmith, and then they did a part of a Whole Lot of Love from Zeppelin. And dude, he nailed it.
I will tell you, like when they were playing Walk This Way, I was like, I fucking hope to God that Fred like this turns into like a Run DMC Walk This Way, and Fred Durst comes out and sings the fucking Run DMC parts.
That honestly could have been the only appropriate thing for Fred Durst to do.
That should have been the only thing that Fred Durst was able to do.
What a missed opportunity.
I thought for fucking sure, but then reading like the mishap of whatever Skip said in the Discord, I forgot what it was.
Well, yeah, Steven Tyler wasn't even supposed to be there, and
what were they supposed to do?
Well, Skip said the rumor was that Soundgarden was supposed to play.
Oh, Soundgarden,
and then Steven Tyler was supposed to sing with Soundgarden. But Soundgarden didn't show, or for whatever reason they couldn't be there, and that's why they kind of played these like common covers. I mean, he plays his own song, and then he plays A Whole Lot of Love, and then Train Kept it Rolling. Like, could you not pick like more like not easier covers, but common covers? So it makes sense. But damn, dude, vocally, he was the best part of the whole day, hands down. Steven Tyler. And I'm not even an Aerosmith fan. I'm not even an Aerosmith.
Hold on there, dude.
Come on, dude.
That's not the best part of the day.
I didn't say best part. I said best vocal. The best vocals of the day.
First, you did say best
part
of the day, but
I corrected myself immediately.
Well, now you did.
No. I immediately corrected myself, and I said best vocals of the day.
That's okay. You'll listen to that later on.
Okay,
that's fine.
You're not listening, but that's okay too.
Skip will tell us.
Okay, but you keep going, but that's okay. So yeah, we move on from all that to Pantera. Jason Momoa kind of half-assed hosted this whole thing. He only came out like every 3 bands.
I forgot he was hosting until now.
Because he only came out like once every 3 bands. Like he was never really came out and did anything. I think he was just drunk all day.
It's all stupid until then. But this was fucking cool, dude. Like when he came out, he said, "I'm gonna go in the pit for this." You're like, "Okay, dude, whatever."
For Pantera,
dude went in the fucking pit. Then, granted, the UK pits, like now we know for sure, the UK pits are not real
they're not
pits.
American pits.
Those are like people are walking and stuff, like walk, not like Pantera walked, normal walking. But the fact that like Jason Momoa like jumped over the barricades and he had like one guy following him, didn't listen to security because he wasn't a big guy. Plus Jason Momoa was like 6'5".
I think Jason Momoa can take care of himself.
Biggest dude, yeah. But he went into the middle of the fucking pit, and you can see people like jumping on him and stuff, and he's doing his thing to like get the fuck off, man. I'm here for Pantera, and like that was cool. Like I have mad respect for Jason Momoa.
Do you see him like chugging
his
beer and then jumping down into it? That was sick.
Fucking mad respect for Jason after this.
Like
I will say
he
though,
was just there to party. Like honestly, Jason Momoa was just there to party. Like anytime
he probably was fucking drunk. Anytime
he was coming up, you could see him reading off the teleprompter, and it was always like very quick. Like there was no acting involved. It was just like very much like I'm really excited to be here. Like here we go, blah, 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 and then he'd fucking be off the stage. Like that's how it was. It was cool. It was cool.
Pantera's like the only band. Pantera is the only band on Earth that like we like Pantera, right? Yeah. We like when they started with Cowboys, like that riff from Cowboys is
so good. Instantly pumped.
God tier.
Instantly pumped.
But like fuck, man, Phil Anselmo is such a piece of shit. And I'm just how can anybody fucking like this guy still? And he's just such a racist fucking dickhead. And he said so many fucking things in the past that I don't even know why the fuck they're even here. But they're here because they're Pantera, and like fucking, I mean, I hate liking them.
Yeah, I know, because he is such a piece of shit. But damn, dude, the guy still sounds good. And I will say though,
he sounds fucking fine.
This is also
Pantera's. Take Phil out of Pantera. I'm still happy to listen to Pantera.
Well,
don't give a shit.
Okay.
What?
I mean,
the Cowboys from Hell fucking.
What I'm saying is there was Pantera before Phil, and we all know how.
And they were good.
No, come on.
Power metal was fucking good.
It wasn't that great.
Oh, that was Phil Anselmo though.
And that was only
hair metal.
And that was a great fucking. I mean that one record that Phil did before they changed style was actually pretty killer. But the stuff before Phil,
that was power metal.
But the stuff before Phil, that wasn't very good. But also you can hear. At least I thought my theory was because Sharon's been known to do this before. Is when she doesn't like members of bands, she'll fuck with their audio, and the mix. Oh my god, this is where all the mixing issues.
It was so.
This is where all the mixing issues started because Zach and Rex, the bass player, were so fucking loud you could barely hear. Charlie's the drummer, Charlie Benante. I don't know, but you could barely hear Charlie, and you could almost not hear Phil at all. Like the mix was fucking terrible, and honestly, I was probably intentional because Sharon's been known to.
It sounded like Zach was playing inside of a fucking tin can.
Yeah, it sounded like shit.
It sounded like garbage. It was so fucking bad, and it never got better.
Yeah,
and this is on a 2-hour delay, dude.
I know. That's
like
why.
If you have
that's
time
why
to
I think
touch up Ozzy's vocals and shit. Like
that's
fuck
why
off.
I think it was intentional. It was totally intentional. Because there's no excuse.
Like you pre-planned a 2-hour delay, and you have the whole team of people behind the soundboard. Like nobody can fix this.
And every fucking band prior to this, the fucking 6 bands prior to this, all sounded great.
And
after all sounded fucking great. But then Pantera sounds terrible. Come on.
Can you really be mad? Like, dude, Phil Anselmo was a racist.
Oh, totally.
Piece of
Yeah,
shit.
no,
Like, he's a fucking dick. And
yeah,
I don't know, like why metal fans give him a fucking pass.
Yeah, no, he's a total piece of shit. But whatever.
But this set was cool.
It was.
Like, it was a cool fucking
Cowboys
set.
From
I
Hell.
enjoyed it so much.
Cowboys from Hell to Walk. Obviously, I mean, those are their 2 iconic songs. But then they played Planet Caravan as the Sabbath cover, as well as Electric Funeral. So this is the first time we see 2 songs played, or songs played more than once. But yeah, I mean, Planet Caravan, I get it. They've played this song a shit ton of times. Pantera has, live, but it's just like this. Damn, dude, the song they should have done something different. They could have done anything different, but they chose Planet Caravan. Like, Planet Caravan should have been something that Tool did. Tool should have done Planet Caravan. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect for that band.
Especially with Zachy up there. Like we just, okay, I get it. Like, Pantera tries so hard to, like, keep the memory of Dimebag alive. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, it's been so fucking long since, like, he died. Like, you don't have to keep doing this just because you've already been doing it when he was alive. And, like, keeping Dimebags like memory alive. The biggest time when Phil came out as a fucking racist, we did the Sieg Heil and yelled
wild.
white power, was at Dime Bash. And it's like, dude, I just like Pantera should just be done. Like Phil just joined or make a new group that's not them. Just you can play the Pantera songs, but I feel like you're tarnishing Dimebag's legacy with your racism.
I agree. It was so stupid to even bring back Pantera last year or 2 years ago whenever they brought him back. It's terrible. It's just so dumb. But it brings in the money for not only them but for other bands. Look at Metallica. They brought Pantera the last European or last US tour. Pantera was on tour with them. It's because they're going to bring in fans. They're going to bring in money. It's all about the fucking dollar, man. But
it's true.
What are you going to do? So there's that. They're whatever covers. I didn't care too much. I was more excited to just hear the two Pantera songs.
Were you super fucking excited when you heard that opening riff?
I was so pumped. There was only
it's so hard.
There was only one other moment. There was only one other moment that I was super fucking pumped for, but we'll get into it. But yeah, Cowboys from Hell, man. When that riff opened, it's just it. So good.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. That's one incredible song.
Truly, the riff. It's not even really. The song is great, but it's the riff, man. It's just one of the most iconic riffs ever. It's so good. All right, so then we get into Tool. Everybody's favorite band. They pretend to love Tool.
Everybody's favorite band. Pretend to love Tool.
Even though Danny Carey's the only part of this band that's actually incredible. Tool played. They played two of their own songs. They threw in "Hand of Doom" as their cover, their Sabbath cover. But I like the way they did this. So they started with 46 and 2, and then as like the interlude of that song, almost they threw in the Sabbath cover.
Solid.
And it was an incredible transition into it, transition out of it into Anima. I thought this performance, and like I said earlier, this performance and Gojira were the best, the tightest, most perfect sets of the entire fucking day. And I'm not a big Tool fan.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Not even a big Tool fan, but they all fucking nailed it. They really, really nailed it.
And at least like put more effort into it, right? Like the Pantera set, like Zachy can play like these songs pretty much verbatim, and he's really good at it. But there's no like effort into that. Like I'm regurgitating things. For them to incorporate a Sabbath song in between two of their own songs and make it seem like one seamless long fucking 12-minute song or however the fuck 15-minute song like that, like I don't know. You got to respect them putting effort into it.
I love it. I fucking love it. I thought it was fantastic. It was a great performance. Truly a great performance. Once again, not a Tool fan, big Danny Carey fan.
Yeah, but that's about it, though.
But it was cool, man.
It was a cool performance. I'm glad I watched it.
Most unique performance. Yeah, most unique performance, too, which is, I want to shout that out. And then we get into Slayer. We're deep into this right now. We're deep into this show. You feel a little tired after that Tool performance because Tool...
Oh, for sure. Melodramatic.
Tool is very kind of, it's all rising action with Tool. We've talked about it on the pod before. Tool is all rising action, but zero relief. It's like you build a song for 7 minutes, zero relief. Let's start building again for the next song. That's all Tool is. No fucking relief. And then we get Slayer. And dude, what a fucking shot in the fucking arm with this band.
I thought this was the most fun performance of the entire day.
Fucking down it was, man. It was so good. They did Disciple, War Ensemble, then they did Wicked World. Honestly, not a good cover of Sabbath. Not a good Sabbath cover. Metallica have done this cover a million times. They should have done it, but whatever. I didn't care for that. I just couldn't wait for that to be over. They dropped into South of Heaven. Fucking incredible. And then Rain in Blood. Rain in Blood came in. God, that riff still is just... It gives you chills. Like that opening riff it's
insane. It was this set was fucking insane. And they had so much fun doing it. And everybody in the crowd was having so much fun. And the UK pits, as we have talked about, are not real pits. No. But when Slayer happened, I was like, oh, that's almost like a real mosh pit.
During Slayer, there was like 4 pits going on at the same time.
Yeah, all over the place. There's like in the pit, the ground area in front of the stage, there's a barricade. So like it wasn't just pit tickets, right? There was pit tickets, and then there's like, pit tickets. Yeah. So like even behind like the pit tickets, even back there was still like 2 pits going on.
So sick. And Rain in Blood. I mean I had my system on so loud too, and Tammy was like, "Oh my god, this is really fucking good." She doesn't know anything about Slayer, and she's like, "Wow, these guys are really really good." And yeah, dude, Rain in Blood was cool. And then it drops into Angel of Death.
Angel of Death.
Tom, he still has that scream. Yeah, he's fucking in his early 60s now, but he still nails the scream. Maybe
he does a good job with the scream. He does a good job
for
with
his
the scream.
age and the tear on his vocals. I thought it was great. It's not perfect.
The scream is tough because if you don't fully commit to the scream, it's absolute trash.
Oh, and he commits.
And even if you do fully commit, like at best, you're going to be like, "Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty iconic and fun." And he fully commits, and like you get like, "Yeah, that's pretty good, dude." Like it's not great or anything, but like I don't expect it to be great. Like this is a dad rock show essentially. That's what's happening here. This is dad rock for like younger people. It's not like Neil Young and Woodstock shit. This is dad rock.
That's a good point. It really is. It really really is.
It was fucking good. This is a good performance.
It was the Slayer set was so cool, and I don't know. It was really incredible. So then we get into Fred Durst. Him and Jonathan Davis were billed as live performers for this show. Jonathan Davis didn't end up singing, but he did like a video little like "Thank you Ozzy, thank you Sabbath," blah blah blah. But he didn't actually perform like he was billed, which whatever. That sucks, but it happens. Fred Durst was also billed as a performer. He wasn't there live, but he did record this video separate of him playing changes in a studio with acoustic guitars
and a cellist.
And the cellist was Skip. Actually, friend of the pod, Skip told us this. The cellist was one of the girls who played on Nirvana's Unplugged back in '94, 93, whenever it was. So there was that, and he played changes. And obviously, Fred Durst is not a great singer. It was charming. It was fun knowing it's Fred Durst, and we all love Fred Durst. He loves the long con, and everybody loves Fred Durst. Everybody in music, like the music industry, loves Fred Durst, but people outside the music industry fucking hate him for some reason. But I love it.
This is the worst thing I think he's ever done.
No, Behind Blue Eyes. Behind Blue Eyes is for sure the worst thing he's ever done.
No, because he's still kind of in like I'm goofy Fred Durst. I'll take a swing at something and see if it works, and like it obviously didn't work. But this is full on like no, this is not tongue in cheek. This is not like goofy. Like there's a subtle thing here where I want you to hate me. This is him actually trying to do something, and the whisper singing thing, I can't get around. Yeah. And he's sitting down. Right, and so he's not even like belting anything out because Fred Durst does have a little bit of range, and he does have a lot of dynamic to him. Like he knows how to do a lot of different things and do a lot of like highs and lows. But this was bad, dude. This was just like, this is Fred Durst realizing that he can't sing for shit.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
And it was kind of sad. This was to me. This is the worst thing
I wouldn't
he's ever
say
done.
It's sad, but it's like it's to be expected.
I think a lot of these performances were fucking sad, including this one.
I agree with you. A lot of these performances were sad, or some of them were
fucking sad.
But Fred Durst, to be expected. So not sad to be
actually
expected.
until now. So okay, so like I don't think any performance. I think all the All-Star stuff was almost damn sad because it's just like, dude, these guys have no fucking idea. Like when you have such big personalities, they don't know how to like be a normal person anymore.
Yeah.
When you've been like idolized for decades, right? Not just years, but decades. You don't know how to just be a dude. Like Chad Smith knows how to be a dude, and you see he's all over Instagram watching like buskers, like drum to Red Hot Chili Pepper songs, and he sits there and watches the whole thing. Flea the same way, like walking through like fucking Hollywood Boulevard and shit. Like these guys know how to be dudes, but a lot of these other dudes, they don't. Like Sammy Hagar, he doesn't know how to be a fucking normal person. So a lot of this stuff is just it's just tone deaf, and I think up until now, I don't think anything's been sad. I think Fred Durst, that performance was sad. I think a lot of the All-Star stuff was sad, but no performance was sad.
Okay.
But we'll get into Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and then Ozzy and Sabbath, and those are all sad.
All right. So, gonna piss a lot of people off, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck. They're sad.
All right. So now we move on to Guns N' Roses. Most of the original lineup, and they played 3 Sabbath songs. 3 Sabbath songs, 3 Guns N' Roses songs. Started with "It's All Right." Didn't care. They did the 3 Sabbath songs. They did "Never Say Die," "Junior's Eyes," and "Sabbath Bloody Sabbath." "Never Say Die" I thought sounded really, really great.
It was good,
and that's
because he sings like Ozzy sings in "Never Say Die."
Yeah, and honestly, the Sabbath song is a top 5 Sabbath song. "Never Say Die."
That's
is
stupid.
Top 5.
That's not a top 5 Sabbath.
You even said it a couple days ago. You said it was a top 5. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I said not. No, I said not 3, but I typoed and said not. I said 5 after.
You said
that.
not. Okay, well anyway, it's a top 5. It's a top 5. Top 5. "Never Say Die." Never Say Die is a top 5 Sabbath song. There we go. "Junior's Eyes," a weird one. Another song off of that record, the "Never Say Die" record.
Yeah, why the fuck?
A lot of these bands were doing songs off of "Never Say Die."
Because they're too pussy. They're too easy.
It was very strange. And then "Sabbath Bloody Sabbath," friend of the pod Skip, he actually predicted that one. He said for sure they're going to play "Sabbath Bloody Sabbath," and sure shit they did. It wasn't bad. And then they rounded out with "Welcome to the Jungle" and "Paradise City." They fucked up with the whistle. Everybody loves I love the whistle in "Paradise City." Played it at the wrong time, but that's okay.
But that last part, like the part that we all love of "Paradise City," is that last wild solo, and he nailed it. Slash nailed it, and it was cool.
The fun arpeggios, just fucking winking it up. It's so dumb.
Just do your thing, bro. Just have fun, enjoy.
So that part was cool, but Axl, it just Axl, man. He
did
better than I expected,
though.
But still not good.
He did way better than I expected. He was running up and down. He was like tripping over shit. He was hitting fucking stands. He was throwing stuff. But he's always like tripped over stuff because he moves around so much. And he did. He moved around the entire stage.
He was very, very energetic. And when he tripped, he was in the middle of saying something to the crowd between songs, and that's when he tripped over the wire or whatever it was. And he started like laughing. I'm like, this is the first time I've
even said like, yeah, as I trip over this fucking thing.
I've never seen or heard him laugh at anything in his whole life. But no, overall it was a cool performance. But it's just, dude, these guys were fucking great for about 5 years. Back in the late 80s, early 90s.
We're good 20 years ago.
I know. A lot of these performers kept making me think of that Guttermouth song. Because, yeah, dude, it's just too old, man. It's just too old.
This one was definitely yes, dude, Slash can still fucking shred. Yeah. And like Slash is one of the greatest. Like he's up there. He's really, really, really fucking good. But it just gets worse and worse because as we see these guys grow older, who were already old when we got into them, it's just like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Like Father Time doesn't give a fuck what your profession is. He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
It's true. But they should have hung it up. I mean, god damn, dude, they really should have hung it up in the mid-90s and just
should have hung it up after fucking Appetite.
No, that's true. I guess I'm giving him more credit. But yeah, honestly, at the most they should have quit like mid-90s and let them just be this like just this iconic thing that people think about and just always reunited but never did. I think their legacy would have been so much different had that happened. And it's weird because it's like Tammy doesn't know what these guys look like. She doesn't know anything about a lot of these bands. She's like, that guy looks so familiar. Duff McKagan. She's like, I know that guy from somewhere. I know I've seen him a bunch of times. And I guess he
just looks the fucking same.
But also his wife is on like one of those reality shows. I know I married a rock star or I don't know
She has to be the one. There was
Real
Housewives.
A girl
that was like blonde hair, big boobs, like way younger than anybody that was in the band. And I was like, who the fuck?
It might have been her.
That's somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his. Maybe that was his
wife. It might have been,
yeah,
because she only knew Duff McKagan through that reality show. She didn't know what he looked like. I don't know. It was just it's interesting, different.
Yeah.
Different.
He's also a bass player.
That's true. But he's also like considered one of the, not a great bass player, but just like one of the recognizable.
There are no great bass players.
Except for Skip. Skip's the only great bass player.
I'm a better bass player than Skip. That laugh. Who laughs like that? Oh, yeah, that laugh reminded me of fucking what's his name? Zach Galifianakis and
Hangover?
Fucking shit, dude. Is that when he's laughing like that, or is it the boss one?
The boss? Oh, it's
maybe it is the Hangover then, when he's laughing like that. Remember he's like, and like keeps a dead face.
No. It's not. It's not the Hangover. It's the one.
It's the boss one,
it's
right?
the one with Steve Carell and Paul Rudd. What is that?
It's not Horrible Bosses, but it's like that type of movie.
Dinner with Schmucks.
Dinner with Schmucks.
He's Steve Carell's
he's
boss.
the guy with the cape.
Yeah, but he's like the boss or something like that. Yeah, and then
he works for the IRS.
That's right. Yeah, he works. Yes.
Yes. That's what that laugh reminded me of. Was in the Dinner for Schmucks.
That's a great
so
movie.
Fucking funny.
Nobody talks about that movie enough. That movie's fucking phenomenal. So funny.
Funny The Hangover. It is.
No.
It truly is.
It's close, but I wouldn't say it's funnier. No.
Hangover's all pomp and circumstance.
But Dinner for Schmucks is something special. That's a fucking funny movie.
Something special.
All right, so we move on to Metallica. They I mean, I get it. They're touring Europe. They're doing big festivals. They're doing their own big shows. They were just using their tour kits. 72 seasons, the yellows and the blacks.
This was just a stop for them. This wasn't like a performance. It was a stop.
And it's not like they don't have the money to fucking get some new shit or borrow some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys. You're better than this. So that was a little annoying.
The potential for greatness was there. Like the fact that like they have so much, like they're the biggest band on earth. Metallica is the biggest band on earth. And the fact that they had like a pre-recording of the intro to Battery instead of just like a fucking orchestra come out and play Battery, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you could like slay that song. Instead, we watched them all just sit up there with the guitars, like, oh wait. Okay, now come in. That's dumb,
with Lars on the big China symbol that he puts in his right
fucking
spot.
Dumb. I thought Battery was terrible. I was like, that is fucking.
But that's
stupid.
what they always do. I mean, that's not uncommon. Every show they do, it's all that opener
right.
is pre-recorded.
But this isn't an always show. This is the show.
Sabbath show, yeah.
This is like all those other shows that you just said. Like they always do that. Those are shows that no one will ever talk about in 40 years from now.
But also,
this show they will.
But remember, at the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about this is all on their own dime. They're not getting paid for this, so why would they pay extra? Why would they put more money?
Because they're actors. Musicians are actors. I mean, yeah. They like to have
everything but also
big.
they love.
I want to be the best.
Metallica love money. Lars loves money. We all know that.
No, they love fame over money. Musicians love fame over money. They'll
Lars
take fame over money any day of the week. He is not.
Look at the whole Napster
fame
shit.
Over money.
That was 100%.
Nah, bro. Nah, fame over money. These are actors. They're all in the same realm. Fame over money any day of the week.
Well, I mean, okay, so anyway, we all know Metallica as a live band since the 80s, late 80s, has been questionable. Especially with Lars. Lars has just progressively gotten worse. And when you think, God, dude, how is he so bad? There's no way he can get worse. The next tour, it's like, dude, you're even worse than you were last year. It's just, man.
He's terrible.
He
He's
just
absolute
keeps
trash.
getting worse and worse and worse. Not only that,
and he kept standing up. Why the fuck does he keep standing up?
It's annoying.
It pisses me off. Stop fucking standing up if you can't even play your drum set. Dickhead.
And then also Kirk Hammett, love the guy, but the dude can never play his own solos. Like he fucks up every single solo he's ever written. Like even come on, dude, you played Master. Kirk Hammett has played Master of Puppets literally over 1,000 times.
Probably 1,000
times.
And
he still cannot nail that solo. Not that it's like, it's not overly complicated, but it's not the easiest. I can't play it because I'm not a professional guitar player, but
you think it's the best solo of all time.
It's one of my favorite. I don't think it's one of the best. It's just one of my favorite solos.
I think you've said in the past that you think it's the greatest solo of all time.
Because I'm being an idiot. But I know.
Maybe it was the solo for one.
I love
one,
you're thinking of when I said Enter Sandman, because I do love the solo in Enter Sandman too.
Yeah. No, you didn't just say it was one of the best. You said it was the best.
That's wrong.
You've said that in the past, verbatim.
But anyway, it's like, dude, you played this over 1,000 times and you still can't nail this solo. Like you're a good guitar. Like he is a good guitar player, but for whatever reason, he cannot play his own solos. He just can't do it. But yeah, anyway, it was fun. It's Metallica.
Just,
you know what you're getting with Metallica.
Just say this for what it is. Like if the expectations are here and then you put this, like this shit sucked, right? The expectations for Pantera were like down here, right? Because Phil's a fucking racist fuck, and like there's really not a whole lot of like original members there, and so like the expectation was over here, and they put on here. No, that is true.
No, Rex wasn't. I don't think Rex was original.
I mean, again, though, what are we talking about here?
I mean, he played.
Does he really give a fuck?
Technically, he played on the first record, but he technically wasn't I don't think he was the first bass player. I could be wrong.
But again, like we just mentioned earlier, like it's a bass player. Who cares? Like, who gives a fucking shit? It's like the expectations were so high for Metallica. And
I love the subtle cyberbullying we're doing right now. But
it's not because he knows. Like every bass player knows, and I talk with Phil about it all the time. And like he's like, yeah, you're right.
Friend
of
the pod, Phil, not
like
Phil Anselmo. Friend of the pod, Phil.
So yeah, the expectations were so high, and like the potential for just to be like Metallica could have put on like the performance of a fucking lifetime. In this little 30-minute set that they could have put on a performance that would have like honestly could have been like the greatest of all time. But instead, they're too fucking egotistical, and they put on the shit performance.
They don't want to
half-assed everything.
Practice or try to sound good. Outside of James and Rob are the only two in the band that actually seem like they try and are really, truly, truly talented.
Well, Rob has to try.
Yeah, he's the one who has to hold it together.
Again, what does he play? He plays the bass. Yeah. We'll just replace him. We'll hold another audition. But like this could have been the fucking performance of a lifetime, but the egos got over. It's not about the money. It's about them having their egos. We're not the headliners. This is the only band that took a bow.
That's a good point.
All four of them got in the front of the stage, and they took a fucking bow.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Fuck off the stage, dude. This is Ozzy's show. Like, it's billed as Black Sabbath, but this is Ozzy's show. Metallica, get the fuck out of here.
So they played two Sabbath covers. They played Hole in the Sky. They played Johnny Blade. Johnny Blade was a weird one for them to play. I don't get it. I mean, like I said, they played Sabracadabra so many times before. I think I said they played something else, but it's Sabracadabra that they've played so many times before. So it's crazy they didn't play it again. And then so Hole in the Sky, Johnny Blade, and then their songs they played: Creep and Death, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Battery, and they ended with Master of Puppets. Honestly, great 4 songs to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost perfect songs to play of their own. So that part was cool. Song choices were cool. So from here we get into Ozzy. Ozzy's solo set played for 25-30 minutes, I believe. And Zakk Wylde on guitar. Who's it? So yeah, Zakk Wylde, Mike Inez, Adam Wakeman, and Tommy Clufetos. I never know how to pronounce.
Clufetos?
I never know how to pronounce his name. So that was his band. Played 5 songs. I don't know. Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Mama I'm Coming Home, and he ended it with Crazy Train. I mean, you and I have always said, and we said it today too, that Ozzy's solo stuff is just, it's fun, but it's not the greatest. Maybe because we weren't there in the 80s. We just didn't grow up with it.
Of course, because we weren't fucking there in the 80s. Anyone our age that says otherwise, they're just full of shit. Like, that's transferred nostalgia is what that is. And we'll get into that with Black Sabbath.
I disagree with
also.
Black
That's
Sabbath.
Transferred nostalgia.
I disagree with Black Sabbath.
Hold on there, dude. We're not even. Hold on there, dude. We're not on the Black Sabbath yet. We're only on Ozzy right now. So that's transferred nostalgia. And I run into it all the time at my record shop when people come in and like they scoop up the Tony Martin era Sabbath records, but like we still have fucking early pressings of Paranoid or Sabbath on the wall. I'm like, I didn't really grow up with that, so I don't really like that much. Like, okay, I get it. I understand. That's why we like Limp Bizkit so much. And like that younger generation, our elders fucking hate that shit, right? It's about like nostalgia and what you grew up with and when you got into music, where was that band already at? Like Ozzy solo stuff, I literally don't care about. Yeah. Like I don't fucking care about. Crazy Train is a perfect song until he starts singing. Like truly,
his vocals are really the worst part of Crazy Train.
It's so stupid. Yeah. It's fucking dumb. Mr. Crowley, that's a fucking goofy song, dude. It really is a
goofy song, yeah.
80s was not a pretty time for metal music. It just fucking was not. And that's why so many people make fun of 80s music overall. And like 90s music is always kind of like, oh, it's the one hit wonder era. Like, dude, 90s music was dope compared to the 80s fucking music.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking give a shit. So this Ozzy set was fine. These guys that are bigger than life, these guys that have fucking egos that are bigger than anything, they don't know how to put on like a good final show. Like, why the fuck did Rudy not come out here and play with Ozzy? Like, you couldn't just have like a Ozzy couldn't even stand.
Yeah.
He didn't know who the fuck was behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have just like a rotating amount of people coming out. Like, that's fucking stupid, dude. Like Speak of the Devil, that was Rudy. Rudy played on that. That's like one of the biggest things that Ozzy's ever released. Like, it sold so many fucking copies because he played Sabbath songs with different people.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not have like a rotating amount of cast members come out and play with you? That's stupid. That's dumb. That's an oversight. That's just like egos getting in the way.
Sharon.
That irritates me.
Honestly, it's Sharon, man.
Like, that was stupid. I think this Ozzy thing and this Black Sabbath thing at the very end was just a fucking. I think it was dumb.
I agree with you in a lot of ways there. I think they could have done more with like original members. They could have had Mike Borden come out for a song and do a song. They could have had Rob Trujillo come out for a song, like switch it up. Have Jakey Lee come out for a song and do. I mean, these guys are already there. They already played earlier in the day. They literally
They're already
played,
mic'd up. They're already tuned up, dude. They're already ready to fucking go.
Zach Wilde can sit out a song. He can sit out 2 songs. Let Jakey Lee play a song. You know what I mean?
Why would you not?
There were moments like that where it's just like there's so many missed opportunities. And yeah, maybe some old band members didn't want to be there, but I guarantee you a lot of it was Sharon and bad blood between her, burned bridges. We've seen it time and time again over the last 45 years with Sharon, with someone like the biggest fucking rock stars. And I get it. Some of these rock stars have big egos too, but it's just like, dude, this is Ozzy's this is Ozzy's last show, man. I think Ozzy...
And I'm so fucking irritated all over again because I'm watching this and I'm yelling at my TV and like Renee's awake now and the kids are awake and I already missed a Fred Durst performance.
So you're mad.
Fucking cook lunch. Yeah, I was already mad. I was like, you fucking idiot. I missed the only performance I wanted to watch. And so I'm like, why the fuck? Like, at the very least...
I wanted to watch was Fred Durst. Those idiotic things you ever say.
At the very least, I was like, why can't these guys just come out and like sing with Ozzy, right? The dude can't fucking walk. Like, he knows he can't walk. And like, you can see him trying to stand up and like, yeah, that's sad and shit like that. But like, he can't fucking, it's not going to happen, bro. Don't try to do it. I know you want to do it, but it's not a good idea. Like, you could actually die. Like, why not have these guys come on and like stand next to him and sing?
Yeah.
Or like come on the stage. Like, why couldn't fucking Rudy or Jakey Lee come on the stage and just be like, yeah, fuck yeah, like Ozzy, like this thing, right? And just like throw pics in the crowd or throw stickers
or like,
and just fucking walk off stage.
Like with NoFX's last show, everybody fucking came out. Remember everybody came out with their guitars in their hands.
I'm not even getting into the NoFX thing yet because I'll get into that during the Sabbath.
But it's kind of the same thing. It's like, at least with Ozzy, like I'm not going to say Sabbath. I think with Ozzy, I think more people should have come out. It should have been more of a.
This show is an Ozzy show.
It is an Ozzy show.
Not a Sabbath
I get it,
show.
I get it, but the theme of the show is back to the beginning. You have to end with Sabbath, without a doubt. You have to end with Sabbath. But for the Ozzy set, it should have been like not rotating members, but just have a lot of people come out.
It should have been a party.
Yeah, 100% should have been a party. Should have been a party. But, it didn't happen. It was fun. It was emotional. He was visibly like crying, like emotional and crying and shit like that.
Calm down.
But
not bless you.
But it was a solid performance, even though I don't care for several of these songs. I don't like Mama I'm Coming Home. I've never liked that song. I get it. People
I don't
love it and they cry and they get emotional over it. I don't care.
People that are under 45 that like pretend to like cry and like it's fuck off, dude. It's transfer nostalgia and you're being a butt. You're being pretentious.
And Mr. Crowley, it's a goofy song. It's goofy. It's fun. It's fine. Or not fun, but it's fine. But I mean,
Ozzy's solo stuff in like Dio with Sabbath are no different to me. They're both goofy and theatrical and stupid.
But honestly, Ozzy's solo stuff is better than the Dio era of.
No, I'll take Heaven and Hell.
That's crazy.
I'll take Heaven and Hell over any solo Ozzy record.
That's crazy. That's stupid.
Any.
But Suicide Solution was cool. Obviously, Crazy Train was cool. It would have been cool if he did Bark at the Moon, but obviously Tobias Forge and Travis, they did that during the Superstar set. But
yeah, because I'd rather hear fucking Tobias and Travis Barker do it than
Ozzy. Yeah, I know. But that's another thing too. It's like, dude, you could have had all these fucking guitar players come back. So it was really a missed opportunity. And I know right now we're
like, to me, that's so fucking stupid. Like, why do we have this all-star band playing an Ozzy fucking show and Ozzy's not there? Like, I would have rather cut this fucking Ozzy set down to like 0 songs and just Ozzy comes out because they fucking raised him up. It's not like he walked out there. Like, they raised him up. Like, how come these all-star performances couldn't just been like scattered throughout the concert, right? Like, why not Crazy Train with fucking Chad Smith,
Nuno
Travis Barker? Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Why can't Ozzy just sing that song and they'll lower him back down? Like, it's just fucking stupid. This is stupid. This is a dumb fucking show that like made no fucking sense. There was no party atmosphere to the show whatsoever. Maybe that's just like a UK thing where they don't know how to actually have fucking fun.
I think,
over there.
but I don't think it was.
There was no fun.
But it wasn't set up as like a party thing. It was set up as like No Effects is different because it was.
Bro, this is a retirement party. That's what this was.
But these guys aren't gonna go out and party like with No Effects. Like, of course, everybody on stage is gonna go get fucked up and it's gonna be wild after the show. That's not. These guys are in their mid to late 70s.
Yeah,
fucking
they're going
Ronnie
to
Wood,
die
Ronnie Wood,
after
Ronnie
this show.
Wood came out from Rolling Stones. Ronnie Wood came out. The dude's 78. He killed it, but it's just like, dude, these guys are fucking. They're so close to death, as terrible as it sounds.
So why would you not have like the final hurrah be like a true party?
But okay, but I do
so cookie cutter
I
like
do
this.
I
This
do
is
agree.
stupid.
This Ozzy set should have had more people coming out and playing, or have like 4
This
guitar
Ozzy shit
players.
shouldn't have existed. It shouldn't have existed. Every like what I'm saying is like every time we had the All-Star set, the Tom Morello All-Star thing, that should have just included Ozzy.
I agree.
Ozzy should have always been the singer, and it should have been a rotating cast member, like rotating ensemble.
Yes.
Like the Ozzy Osbourne set is fucking stupid. That's stupid.
Agreed. I agree with you on that. So let's move on to the Sabbath, the final set, the original 4: Bill Ward, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, and Ozzy Osbourne. Now, this formation of the band hasn't played in 20 years. I did see them. I will say this again because I want to show off. I did see the original lineup of Black Sabbath in August of 2005. I looked it up. August 16th of 2005 was when I saw the original Black Sabbath. The very end of the tour out in San Bernardino.
They were still old.
they were still old. But yeah, no, this is the first time the OG lineup has played a show in 20 years. The last time, and honestly, I didn't think it was that great. I think Bill Ward.
No, of course not.
Bill Ward. Okay, so I haven't seen very many people talk bad. I haven't seen anybody talk bad about this Sabbath performance. But honestly,
it wasn't
Bill
good.
Ward didn't. He was struggling, man. He was struggling bad
because he can't play,
man. He cannot play.
In that long fucking interview thing that I sent everybody that clearly nobody fucking read, he said that he tapes his fucking feet with ice packs just to numb them because he has so much pain in his feet. Yeah. And he's like, fucking, like, I can't get over the pain and I really want to play, therefore I'm going to do this. And also in that same fucking interview, Ozzy was saying like, yeah, I've been doing exercises. Like I get up and walk for 2 minutes a day. Jesus. I get up and walk around the house for 2 minutes a day. Like, yeah, this was stupid. This was shit. And it's like, you set them up to sound like shit. And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you should have had more people out here. They should have played one song, just the 4 of them to end the night. Fucking curtains drop, right? Have them play Paranoid. Have them just play one fucking song. Just give me one good
honestly
song.
Should have ended with the title track with Sabbath. That would have
been insane. That would have been insane.
Like, I agree with you.
Curtains drop.
I agree
done.
with you. They should have done more of like an ensemble. Like I think it should have been just the original 4 guys, but clearly we saw that Bill could not hold it together, and Tony and Geezer, they were constantly looking at Bill and were like, they were having, because Bill was speeding up, slowing down. It was so up and down, and Tony and Geezer were just trying to keep up, but just it was honestly, War Pigs was not good at all. That was what they opened with. War Pigs was not good because there's also
War Pigs sounds like when I go to like Dave's house.
That's exactly
like,
what I thought
this
too.
fucking sounded like, dude.
Whenever
that's what it fucking sounds like.
It sounds like when we're really really drunk and we're trying to play these songs, but yeah, War Pigs. It's like that's a very Bill heavy song. There's a lot of drum fills, a lot of big drum parts. He couldn't fucking do it. War Pig, but then they played NIB, And honestly, NIB was the best song of the 4.
That was good.
NIB was fucking amazing. They dropped into Iron Man, ended with Paranoid. And I mean, Iron Man, whatever. I mean, Bill was still all over the place. Paranoid was honestly just... I've never heard that song played that slow before. It was almost like a stoner jam. It was so slow. Which could be cool, but knowing the fact that Bill couldn't keep pace, couldn't keep time... Dude, it was...
This was sad, dude.
It was kind of sad, yeah.
This is one of those things where it's like, wow, I can't believe you fucked these guys that much. Like, if I always make fun of Sharon or whatever, and this was like Sharon's final call. It's like, dude, you made them look like shit. Like, you fucked them. Like, this is the last thing they will probably ever do, and you fucked them. This looks like garbage.
I think the only people that shine, or the only person that shined, was Geezer. I think Geezer was the only guy who...
He came out of nowhere, dude. Like, he's fucking slaying on the bass.
I mean, he's always slayed on the bass, but it's just, I feel like he was the only one that was able to keep it together.
Like 95 years, how the fuck old is he? 85 years old?
Mid-70s, let's just say.
Dude,
killed it. No, Geezer was the only one that, despite all of the tempo changes and the fucked up transitions and fills and stuff like that, Geezer was the only one that kept it together. Tony was fucking up a lot too. He was missing parts, like transitions into different verses and choruses. Tony wasn't doing that well either. Tony was kind of fucking it up too.
The solo for Iron Man too, which is pretty fucking easy solo.
Yeah.
Like contextually, he fucked that one up too in various places.
And I mean, I hate talking shit on him because we all love Black Sabbath, but it was not a good performance, you know. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy because like that final NoFX show. Now we're getting to the end part of this segment, so we can now compare it to the NoFX show because that's the only other band that's called the Quits in the recent years. Like comparing to the NoFX show, that's a punk band, and they put on a punk like final retirement party, and that made sense, and it fit the band, it fit the bill. There was so much going on throughout that course of the weekend. This was a one-off, and all everybody did was like, "Oh, thank you, Sabbath. Like you inspired me." Okay. Dumb. I don't fucking care. Yeah. Whatever. Right? Like I don't give a shit. There was no final bow where like every fucking person came on stage, right? That's true. There was nothing
like it would have been cool to see fucking like Travis Barker next to Tony Iommi, next to fucking Nuno, right? Like that would have been fucking cool to see all of this whole like generation of metalheads. It just like, that'd be wild. But like no. We didn't see any of that shit. This was business as usual.
It was very business driven. It felt like, because I mean, obviously there were the pictures that, of course, they had Ross Halfin come in, famous photographer, did a lot of rock stuff from the late 70s up till now. He came in, did all the major photos for the show, and of course he did all the big group photos, the various group photos before the show, which is cool. I mean that's fine, that's totally fine. But I agree with you. There was no big bow at the end. There was really nothing at the end. And Skip made...
There was only one bow the whole show, and that was Metallica.
But
that's fucking pathetic.
But Skip did make a good point. They had passed curfew. And when you pass curfew, it could be a big issue and blah, blah, blah. Everything gets...
No, you just pay fines. Maybe it's different over there, but like Coachella consistently passes curfew.
It might be, yeah. It's probably
fines.
different in the UK because they don't have as much freedom.
To what?
Because they don't have as much freedom as we do here in the US.
Bro, this is soccer stadium. People get the shit kicked out of them constantly. Like, no, dude, pass curfew. That means fucking nothing to me.
But yeah, no, I think it was a little underwhelming in every sense. And when you definitely compare it to the NoFX show, and I get it, Sabbath and Ozzy are way bigger than NoFX, but the effect that each of those artists have had on fans are equal. Honestly, they're equal. No, they are equal. No, they are. I mean, fans of Ozzy and fans of Ozzy and Sabbath are very, very passionate, just like fans of NoFX are very, very passionate. So the ending of both bands is a big thing. NoFX is obviously different.
It's a big thing for sure. Huge. Yeesh. This almost feels like a final thoughts wrap thing. So I'm going to go into why.
Go into the final thoughts because we've been going for a while.
When I knew this was going for a while too. When when I saw people crying, like, "Oh, I can't believe Sabbath is over." I'm like, dude, by the time you was born, Sabbath was already done. Like, you know what I mean? They're already fucking over. So fuck off. By the time we got into Sabbath, even if we got into them at like 10 years old, already done, already gone, already done.
Yeah.
Sabbath does not exist anymore. So like to say like I have nostalgia for Sabbath, like no, you don't. You have like transfer nostalgia. Like your parents listened to them, or you got into them later on, or they influence you picking up a guitar, or whatever the fuck it is. But you didn't grow with Sabbath. You weren't influenced by them, like changing tones from record 3 to record 7, from whatever decade to the next decade. Like no, and like that's why I think that even though like Sabbath and NoFX is like a concept. Are equally as devastating, and obviously Sabbath is more devastating. No, like Sabbath to us doesn't mean anything compared to what NoFX meant to us, not as a band, but as a concept. When we go to these shows and like, fuck, man, I want to start a band because I'm watching like NoFX get better and better and play with these other bands that I really, really like. We didn't join it. We didn't start a band. We didn't like jam out because we wanted to sound like Sabbath. Like we wanted to sound like NoFX, who wanted to sound like something else, who wanted to sound like Sabbath. Like 3 parts removed from that. And so like the whole thing where I think it was fucking Billy Gibbons that said like Jimi Hendrix may not be your favorite guitarist, but he's your favorite guitarist, right?
Okay, yeah.
And that's Sabbath. Like no, our favorite bands aren't fucking Black Sabbath. Our favorite bands are the bands whose favorite band is Black Sabbath. So we're already 1 part removed from that. And just even being 1 part removed means that this doesn't mean as much, because it's like, even though it's source material, it just doesn't mean as much. Right? You're
also taking an extremely technical approach to the entire
no, because
thing.
It's fucking stupid.
It's not,
I see like kids in their fucking 20s and 30s crying, and like you and Skip like, oh my God, it was so fucking sad. Yeah, it's sad to watch an 85-year-old dude sing songs that he shouldn't even be fucking alive.
Yeah,
like that's wild, dude. You're being
I get what you're saying there, but
Fuck
also
off.
you're looking at it at the whole emotional aspect of music or art in general. You know, in just a very technical.
You don't have nostalgia for Black Sabbath. You just don't.
I do have nostalgia with Black Sabbath.
No, you
Yes, I
don't.
do. Yes,
No,
I
you
do.
don't. No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I do have nostalgia with Black Sabbath.
You think you do, but
Yeah,
you don't. You were like
because
fucking 15, 16 years old when you heard Black Sabbath that existed 50 years prior.
But you can still have
no.
nostalgia for something.
Nah.
You don't have dude, get the fuck out of here.
Nah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I was so sad when I went to George Washington's grave because I have so much nostalgia for the $1 bill. Like, nah, dude, fuck
That's
off.
a terrible. That is a truly terrible comparison.
Why? They're both old.
So you're only basing this off of age. You're not basing this off of the fact that it's music,
Not at all.
and music transcends, age, and it transcends time and all that kind of
I'm
shit.
not saying that you can't
can
be
have-
emotional for this,
be
because it was an emotional time.
Yeah.
And no matter what, like watching an old person like essentially live out their dream for the last time is fucking rad.
That part
I think
is rad,
all
but-
old people deserve.
I think you're taking a very kind of cynical approach.
I think
to this.
all on there, dude. I think like all old people deserve that one final like hurrah. Like even to last. He's not 85. He's like 75, right?
Like
so like even to last like 70 years on this earth is a fucking feat, dude. Like dude's just seen more things. Honestly, we'll probably die before that. Like our average age for like a male is like 80 years old. So like if we live as long as Ozzy has, we'll be fucking lucky. So like the guy's seen more than we'll ever see. Like that's a fucking fact. He's seen more countries than we'll ever see. He's interacted with more people than we'll ever interact with. But that's nothing to do with us. Has nothing to do with us. So all we have is just his music that we got into decades after it actually came out. And even when we like, again, if we got into Sabbath early on, we're already into like the shitty era of the Ozzy solo stuff, right? We're not even like the good era of the Ozzy solo
90s,
stuff.
yeah.
You're in the shitty era of Ozzy solo stuff. So even if you discovered Ozzy on your own, it's like, oh, this is like my music. Like you still wouldn't like Black Sabbath. And that's why a lot of guys that come into my shop that love like the 80s Ozzy stuff don't like early Black Sabbath. Because no matter what, if you find a band by yourself, and I tell you this all the time, and I tell Sloan this all the time, if you discover a band on your own,
don't lump me in with Sloan.
you're the same fucking way. Because if you find a band on your own, you love them, and they're your band, and you can grow with them, and you can hear them progress, you can hear them change. But if someone like recommends something to you, it's like, nah, it's not really my thing. No matter what, you're always gonna love something more.
I
find out for
understand what you mean.
yourself.
I do understand what you mean, but I think you're being a little too pessimistic and shit like that.
I think I'm being too pessimistic because no one ever, like, the metal community is such a weird community. No one ever holds anybody accountable. And that's why Phil Anselmo has been such a fucking douchebag racist for decades. Because nobody holds anybody accountable in the metal community. Like, can you imagine if fucking, like, I don't even know, dude. If Justin Bieber had said some of the racist shit that Phil had said, right? Canceled. Fucking forever canceled. Yeah. If, like, Taylor Swift had come out and said something like that. But, like, why? Like, the metal community doesn't give a fuck. Like, it's inherently kind of like shitty and fucked up, and obviously like predominantly like white males.
It's also very gatekeepy. Like metal and punk are the most gatekeepy fucking genres ever.
Yeah, but at least like punk doesn't make any money from it. Like, metal makes money from this. Like punk doesn't make any money from this. So again, I think this was a great performance. I think it was a fucking rad show. It was cool. I think Sharon or whoever was in charge of the overall bill, whoever's desk this landed on last before like the okay was given, they did Ozzy dirty. They did the show dirty. They did Black Sabbath dirty, but it was still really fun.
Yeah.
And it was cute.
I did have a great day.
And I think no matter what, like, I think like old people deserve that last hurrah because like, man, like, you're old, dude. You know what I mean? I think like our world treats old people like shit anyway. So
unfortunately,
it's cool to see like an old person like, and not just like Ozzy, but like Bill, man, to see Bill like tough through it all and play like shit. Like, fuck it, dude. It's yours. Own it.
Let him have it.
Fuck off. And that's why I think like the last song should have been the four. They should just practice one song. It should have been a rotating cast, and like just like ending with Black Sabbath would have been fucking.
It honestly would have been perfect.
Like ending Black Sabbath, done, fucking fireworks, cake. Mm-hmm. Oh hell yeah!
And we haven't even got into the stuff that happened after they stopped performing and how the cameras cut to the fireworks and not, you know, what actually was happening where people were coming out on stage, which I don't know. I mean, I know Geezer came out with like the cake and all that kind of stuff, but
it's too late.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It just seemed to, I don't want to say disingenuous, the end of it.
It did.
But
say it. That's fine.
I don't know. Either way,
we're going to be the only ones saying negative things about this show. Everyone's going to fucking suck this show's dick fucking to Kingdom Come, and that's going to be it. And like, no one will say anything negative. But this show was riddled with problems, was riddled with fucking inaccuracies. It was riddled with just stupidity. And I think Black Sabbath's last show was kind of shit.
Okay. I would tend to agree with you on many of the things you said.
All of the things
Not
I
all.
said. I rate the last show 2 out of 3.
Okay, that's fair. I do want to watch.
I was
gonna rate it. I was gonna rate it too. So when we rate things out of 3, 3 is a perfect performance. 2 is good. You're gonna go back to. You're gonna watch it again. 1 is just bad, but at least give it a shot. And 0 is the worst thing you've ever seen. So I would give it a 2 out of 3 as well. I did watch it again. I did watch the Sabbath and Ozzy performance again, along with like the All-Star Jams. I did watch those again as well. But yeah, with that, I'll give it a 2. I'll keep going back. I think it was just really cool to see the 4 of them on stage again. And I don't know. I don't think it was perfect by any means, but it was cool. It was really, really cool. And
you know what the All-Star Jam reminds me of? It reminds me of in The Office when Daryl, Andy, and Kevin have their band, and then Richard California joins, and then he brings in like professionals. What do you say?
You did say Richard California.
That's funny. Richard California sounds kind of cool too. But remember when Dick California brings in the professionals and they kick out everybody else? That's what the All-Star thing felt like.
Yeah,
it's just so phoned in and fucking cheesy, dude.
I can see that. All right, well, thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. That was fun, breaking this whole day down and all that. So hope you guys enjoyed it too. Anybody who got this far probably hates us, but who cares?
If they got this far, they for sure hate us.
So,
because it was all good until now.
Yes.
Until the reason we were here.
I know. So, thank you all for listening, and that's it. That's all.
Keep alert.